And welcome back to my video. So in this episode, we are continuing with our Jamboard mobile application with Flutter, Riverpod for state management, and we'll be implementing an Express.js and MongoDB backend, right? So in this video, we are going to implement the resume details page, right? So we are going to implement the resume details page. So to do that, firstly, you need to install this library called Flutter caged PDF view, right? Flutter caged PDF view, right? So now if we go inside our resumes folder under our screen, right? So let's go resume screen, and then let's create a resume detail screen to that, right? So let's just create a stateless widget. It's going to be resume detail screen. So the first thing that we need in our screen is at first we just need a PDF. We'll just call it a string, and then the string is going to be a PDF URL, right? Or let's just not add the string. Let's just get like our arguments from modal route, right? And then modal route, and then of context, right? And then settings, and then arguments, right? And then as resume model, right? Yes, resume model, right? As resume model, right? So now basically what we are simply going to do here is we are simply going to return a scaffold widget. So we're simply going to return a scaffold widget, and then the app bar. You simply need an app bar right there, and then we need a body, and then we are going to have like a safe area widget, right? A safe area widget, and then column widget, right? And then children property, and then what we need here is an expanded, right? Expanded widget. And then the child is going to be a container, right? And then we'll just give it a color of white. All right, so after this, what we simply need to do is the child, which is going to be PDF, right? It's going to be PDF, right? So it's going to take in a couple of properties. So enable swipe is going to be true, and then background color, supposed to give it a background color of white right there. And then what we're simply going to do is caged from URL, right? So the URL is going to be resume.full resume path. That's the URL that we are going to use there, right? So inside our, what we simply need to do here is we first need to check if the resume.full resume path, if it's not empty, right? So if this resume path is not empty, then that's when we can display our PDF right there, right? That's when we can display our PDF, right? So we need to put 3 dots there, and then else we are simply going to display a text, a centered text. And then with child text, then the text is simply going to be resume not found, right? Resume not found, right? And then Now what you can simply do is, let's just put a semicolon here. So now that we are done with this resume details page, now what we basically have to do is let's go inside our route folder, right? So let's copy and then let's paste it below. And then resume details screen, and then we'll just change it to resume details screen. All right, so let's go back inside our main.dat file, and then here what we simply have to do is we'll pass routes.resume details screen, and then we'll pass in the context, and then we should just return the resume details screen. All right, so now what we simply have to do is let's go inside our resume screen, right? So inside our resume screen, for our resume, we'll wrap our resume item widget, right? We must wrap it with the gesture detector right there, the gesture detector, and then on tap. So if we tap on that item, what we are simply going to do is navigate. We are simply going to navigate to the resume details page, right? So navigator.push named, then we provide the context, and then we need the route name, right? So the route name is going to be routes dot resume details screen, and then we'll simply pass in the arguments. So the argument is going to be simply data, our data, right? And then the index of our item, right? So now what I'll simply do is, if I refresh mobile app, so let's check our emulator right there. Let's check if it's working. Right, so let's go to our resumes, and then data science resume. You can see now our resume is even appearing there, right? And then we can even go back, right? So that's our resume details page right there. So I think if you want, we can even add a padding to our container there. Let's see how it appears now. Yeah, so now you can see we have our resume details page right there, right? So I think there's something, so let's just put swipe horizontal to true, right? Let's see. Okay, so we cannot swipe horizontal, so let's reload, and then let's see, right? Yeah, so we can even swipe horizontally. Yeah, so that was it, guys, on our resume details page. So in the next video, we are going to work on adding our resume, right? Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next episode.